Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shreya and I talk about books, shows, movies and also share some vlogs. If that interests you, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're updated. So today's video is all about Apple TV shows. And if you don't already know, I am obsessed with anything Apple TV. So the first show I'm going to talk to you about is called Silo. So Silo is a dystopian show on Apple TV. It actually is based on the trilogy that is written by Hugh Howey, Wool, Shift and Dust. There are 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons are based on the first book, Wool. The current season that we are in, season 3, follows the second book in the trilogy called Shift. Even though the creator has actually mentioned not to read the books because they are steering a little away from the books, I read them because I was a little desperate to know what was happening, and I'm so glad I read them. Even though now that I'm watching season 3, they have literally included very different storylines in the show, which is not really in the book. But I am trying to stay positive, and the show creator did tell us not to, but I did, so the blame's on me. Anyway, but I'm actually enjoying the show. I actually like the show more than the book. I am very invested in the characters, to be very honest. That was not very clear in the books, so I'm actually enjoying the show much more. We are following Juliet, who is our main female character, and we are seeing everything. We are rooting for her basically in the show. She lives in this silo which is underground, and no one is allowed to step outside. The only way you can step outside is when you commit a crime, so that is your last form of punishment. Juliet doesn't want to step outside. She's very happy and just merry in where she is. So the silo is divided into parts, and your top layer is for all your presidents, your judges, your sheriffs. All the VIP sort of people live in the top of the silo. Then your hierarchy reduces, the way you go down the silo, and your bottom layer is of the mechanics who actually take care of the silo. So if you see, the mechanics are very, very important to the silo, because that is how your breathing, basically your ventilation system, is managed by the mechanics. Your generator that is generating lots of electricity for your silo is actually right there. But no one really cares about the mechanics. Also, that is not where your storyline goes, so that's not important, but I thought I should just mention it. The story starts with the police officer called the sheriff. His wife wants to step outside. Even though it is not allowed to step outside, you can't say you want to step outside. But she's hell-bent, and she actually believes that the air outside is quite breathable, and there is a conspiracy not letting people step outside for a reason, and which is not being specified. She's like, I want to step outside. If you want to come, you come. If you don't want to come, you don't come. Because he's the sheriff, he can't take such a drastic step, and everyone around him has made him believe that she's gone a little loca, and which is why she wants to go outside. So he doesn't stop her because he can't, but he also doesn't step outside. She goes outside, and we as viewers also realize that no, the air outside is unbreathable, and she is unalived after 10 steps. Few years later, suddenly the sheriff starts missing the wife and accepts the fact that maybe he should have stepped out with her, even though whatever she believed in was not actually the truth. He should have been with her because he loved her, and at least in those last moments he should have been with her. So he decides to step outside as well. But before stepping out, he decides to find what actually happened and what was the information that she got made her take these final steps. When he's trying to uncover all of these things, he comes across Juliet, our main character, who is actually trying to figure out what happened to her boyfriend. So when she's trying to uncover all of these things, she accepts to help out sheriff as well. And the sheriff, when he realizes, steps outside and the same thing happens, he is unalived. But before leaving, he decides to give the sheriff's badge to Juliet, and Juliet is like, I'm not going to be the sheriff, I'm not interested. But she also knows to uncover what happened to her boyfriend, that is the only way that she can, so she accepts the sheriff's badge. She realizes that to find out what happens, she's going to have to cross a lot of lines, and when she does, she has been punished to go outside the silo. Now when she has to go outside the silo, of course she's going to also get unalived because she's stepping outside. But then we realize the conspiracy that has been happening, and actually the air is quite breathable outside. Everything was a lie. And the whole story is about this entire conspiracy. Who made it? why they made it, and what is happening now, what will happen later with Juliet and her entire silo. And that is the story of Silo. So it is very, very intriguing. I don't want to give more spoilers. I just want you all to binge watch it because it is really a beautiful show. It's got really great visuals and you actually feel like you're in the silo. You can actually imagine if it was you who were in the silo, how it would be like. Would you want to step outside? Would you not want to step outside? Because initially I was like, why would you want to step outside if air isn't breathable? You've got everything. You're eating well, you're staying well, you are with your family. When you start seeing how they live and you realize that the air is breathable, you're like, yeah, even I would want to step outside. So that's the show. That is Silo. Make sure you're watching it. And yeah, like, I hope you like that show. It's a great show. I like it. So moving on to the next show. It's called Bad Sisters. It's a dark comedy. This was actually recommended to me by a friend of mine. And she said it's a good show. I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And I actually enjoyed it, like, to be very honest. There are 2 seasons. The first season is the one you should definitely watch. Second season, you can actually, kind of skip. But it is pretty good as well. We follow these 5 sisters who are really close-knit. We start with a funeral, and the funeral is actually of one of the sisters' husband. We are supposed to feel bad about him in a certain way. Of course, it's a funeral, but then we realize that he was not really a great man. Every sister has a reason why her sister's husband should be unalived. And we are introduced to these 2 insurance brothers who are there to figure out what actually happened. Was there a foul play? Because the husband had taken an insurance under his name. So now that he's unalived, the insurance money has to go to his wife. These 2 brothers don't really have that much money anymore to give through the insurance. So they are trying to figure out if there is a foul play so that they will not be able to give the money. And we follow along this entire journey of what had happened before his funeral. And we actually follow these 5 sisters who wanted the brother-in-law to be unalived. And we follow how and why that happened. So it's literally that. If you're into dark comedy, this is your show. This is really interesting. The actors are fabulous and you really enjoy the bond that these sisters have, and also the eldest sister whose husband is unalived, how she goes through life with and without him. That is a beautiful, beautiful show. So you should definitely watch. The next show is called Ted Lasso. I think everyone knows about it already. If you haven't heard about it, it's a beautiful, feel-good kind of a show. It's about a soccer coach who moves to the UK to be a coach to a football club. The owner of the club doesn't want the club to succeed because she has inherited the club from her ex-husband in the divorce settlement. She doesn't want the club to go that well, and which is why she calls this person from the US who doesn't even know what football is, right? So this whole show is about how he makes everyone around him fall in love with him, and even though he doesn't really know much about football, he tries to learn, figure out what this sport is. He makes connections with the footballers. He makes sure that all the footballers are, not competing with each other, but are actually like a family together, play the sport for what it is. It's a beautiful show. You have all the characters that are so sweet and so nice. There is no cringe factor that happens. You actually learn a lot about these characters and why they are a certain way. We follow Ted Lasso, even though he has his flaws. This is not fake positivity that he has. He is genuinely a positive person. So we are currently on season 4. Even though season 3 was the last season, they were not going to shoot anymore. But now we are in season 4 and there are episodes coming out every Wednesday. First 3 seasons was about Ted Lasso coaching your men's football team. But now in season 4, we are following Ted Lasso coaching a women's team from the same football club. It's going to be fun to watch how Ted Lasso deals with women's team. So that's that. And I think you should definitely watch it. Give it a shot if you've not already. And if you've loved it, yay, awesome, high five. Also, all these shows are not based on how much I love them. Loved all of these shows, which is why I'm talking about them. So they are not in any form of like a ranking system. These are all randomly picked and I'm trying to steer away from the same genres basically. So let's move on to the next show. So Disclaimer is a limited series with just 7 episodes that you can literally binge watch, but it's a very heavy, hard-hitting kind of a series. Lots of trigger warnings. It's one of those shows which has a very, very twisty end to it. So I'll just quickly give you all the short synopsis. We follow Catherine Ravenscroft. She has this perfect life and perfect husband, perfect marriage, everything. She has everything that she would ever want. Suddenly, her life is turned upside down when she receives this one book that is written by this man, that is written about her by this man who says he knows her. And when she reads the book, she wants to burn it. Obviously, she doesn't want to accept what is written about her. This can literally tarnish everything that she's worked so hard for. We follow this dual timeline of her present situation, what she's going through. Also, we follow a little backstory of it, where what actually happened and why this man is writing about Catherine, who in her 20s, and the affair that actually happened between the two of them. And he writes really shocking things about her that can literally upend everything. We say every story has like 3 sides to it. 2 people have different opinions, and the third person is the viewers, we who like look into that life, and then we realize, wait, there are more sides to this story. This is what this story is literally about. This is such a hard-hitting show. I mean, there are a lot of NFSW scenes as well. That's the kind of story that they are telling. I think I watched the series last year and it still stays with me. It's a brilliant show. Kate Blanchett is amazing in it. It is such a brilliant show. You don't really realize whom you want to hate, but at the end, you realize who you should. Yeah, I mean, I hated that person. Horrible. But this is a great show. You should definitely watch it. Alright, so the next show is actually a travel show. It stars Eugene Levy, and everyone knows Eugene Levy. If you don't know, he's an actor famously known for Schitt's Creek. He is such a funny person. So this show is actually called The Reluctant Traveler. And he is a reluctant traveler because he's old, right? I mean, like, he's literally 70s, I think. We follow him on his crazy journey around the world. So he goes to different parts of the world, different cities, and explores the restaurants, the hotels, the activities that one should experience when you are at that place, like a volcano or an Arctic Circle or all of those things. Or he comes to India as well. And we just follow him along on those crazy journeys. So every episode is a different city, is a different country. He gives a reason why he doesn't want to do it, but then once he does it, he's like, okay, this is good, but I don't want to do it anymore. Like, why would people want to do it? So I think it's a very funny narrative on your typical travel shows, on where people are like, oh, you have to do this, you know, if you're here, you might as well do it. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll do it, but it's not really necessary to do it. I think it's a great show. Just watch it just for Eugene Levy, or just to watch the beautiful visuals. That, I mean, Apple TV always promises you beautiful visuals and actually delivers such beautiful, stunning visuals of the world. And I just like love travel shows in general, but it's a great experience sitting on your couch basically watching Eugene Levy travel to all these different places. So I think you should definitely give it a shot. Alright, so the next show I'm talking to you about is Dark Matter. Dark Matter is also based on a book by Blake Crouch. I loved this book. Okay, this is a sci-fi show, and I didn't think I would love it as much, but I genuinely did. I like the show as well. So we follow Jason's character. Jason is like a very happy man living a very decent, happy life, a very normal life with his wife, his son. We see that there's someone following him. He's been kidnapped and put into a box. So we realize that he lives in a parallel world. So we follow Jason, our original Jason, from the timeline that his wife and son exist, are actually not living with the same Jason anymore. But his wife and kid doesn't know, because he is literally Jason, but from a parallel world. And Jason, our original Jason, is in this person's life in a parallel world where the wife and the kid does not exist. This entire show is literally about our original Jason trying to get back to his world that we know of. He realizes what actually happened, and what that black box actually means is that there are multiple parallel worlds of his entire life. every decision that he took created a parallel world that he can actually open the door to. But he is hell-bent on going back to his wife and son. That is the world that he lives in, and that's what he wants to go back to. But going back to it is not that easy. So he literally travels to different parallel worlds trying to reach his actual world. It was supposed to be a limited series because Blake Crouch's Dark Matter was literally just one season concept. Season 1 ended on such a cliffhanger. I don't want to give any spoilers, but if you're watching this show, you're really in luck because there is a season 2 coming literally this weekend, and you'll be able to just watch it, give it a shot, and I'm sure you're going to love it. I think we all have that thought in our mind where we think, what we are right now, are we the same? Suppose if that decision that I had taken like a year back, would I be living this life? I probably will be living like a completely different life. But what if that exists? That parallel world where you took that decision actually made you take another route. Your life is completely different. So that does happen in this show. So it was quite an intriguing show. I really enjoyed Blake Crouch's book as well, and I really liked the show as well. Great show. I think you should definitely watch this show. Alright, so the last show that I'm going to tell you about is called Shrinking. Shrinking is a brilliant series, just like all the series I talked about in this video. But this is a very different kind of a show. It talks about a very, very important part of our life, and it's grief. Grief happens to literally every one of us, but how we deal with it is very different to everyone. So, there are ways to take care of our grief, right? Therapy being one of them. Therapy literally helps. But what if your own therapist needs therapy and he doesn't take any therapy? Then what? So this show is literally that. He's a therapist. He's like literally listening to his patients going on about their issues. He wants to help them, but somehow he's stuck in his own grief. He realizes that he has a very different way of therapizing, and he calls it jimmying, and it kind of works in the beginning, and then everything goes wrong. That really beautiful, intense characters. Every character is written very beautifully, and how everyone comes together, like his professional life comes together, his personal life is mixed. He has a daughter that is also grieving the death of her mother, but the neighbors come in and take care of her. So it's literally everyone coming in together, taking care of each other. It's a beautiful show, and I think you should definitely watch it. It has Harrison Ford in it. It has Jason Segel in it. I mean, just watch this show, at least for them. First few episodes are a little slow, but then once you get the hang of it, once you're used to these characters, I think you just want to be with them. There are 3 seasons already. The 4th season hasn't been announced yet, but I really hope they do, because I would literally watch seasons over seasons of just these people. They're so beautiful. I think I just want to go rewatch it all over again. It's that beautiful for sure. Alright, so that's about it. These were the shows that you should definitely be watching on Apple TV. Let me know if you liked any of these shows, if you watched any of these shows. If you didn't like any of these shows, I would be a little disappointed. But let me know if you watch after my recommendations and if you like them. Next video is going to be a reading vlog where I read the book The Internet Told Me is really good. And that is Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt by Ben Reeves. Really beautiful book. I've read the blurb and I absolutely loved it. It's made me cry already, and it's gonna be me crying a lot in the vlog. But it's gonna be a fun vlog where I'm just not reading, but I'm doing a lot of other things as well. So make sure you subscribe to watch that video as well, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you so much for staying along, and have a fun time watching all these series. I really hope you like them.